In the bustling village of Asamang, nestled among lush green hills in Ghana, 10-year-old Timi lived a cheerful life. A primary 4 student at Asamang-a basic school, he loved kicking a football with his friends and reading storybooks under the shade of the mango tree in his family's compound. But most afternoons, after the school bus dropped him off at 3 p.m., the mud brick house with its tin roof stood empty. His parents, Mr. and Mrs. Asante, ran a busy provision shop in the village market, selling yams, maize, and household goods. They worked long hours to pay for Timi's school fees and provide for the family. By the time his mother returned home at 6 p.m., the sun had already dipped below the horizon. One evening, as the crickets chirped outside, Timi sat at the wooden table in their small living room, his face clouded with loneliness. Pa, I don't like staying home alone," he said softly, his voice barely rising above the hum of the evening. His mother, wiping sweat from her brow after a long day, knelt beside him. "Oh, Timi, we are sorry," she said gently. "It's just for a few hours. We work hard to give you a good life." His father nodded, adding, "Your school fees and books aren't cheap, my son." Timi understood their struggle, but the ache of loneliness lingered in his heart. Determined to ease Timi's loneliness, Mrs. Asante came up with a plan. "Timi," she said one morning as she braided her hair, "Auntie Beatrice next door will look after you after school until we're back." Auntie Beatrice, a young woman in her late 20s, lived in a neat mud house with a colorful curtain at the door. She was known in Asamang for her warm smile and generosity, often sharing roasted plantains or groundnuts with the village children. Timi's parents trusted her completely, as she had always been kind to their son. "Okay, Ma," Timi replied, familiar with Auntie Beatrice's friendly greetings. That afternoon, after school, he walked the short path to her house, his school bag slung over his shoulder. Her home smelled of palm nut soup, and she welcomed him with a plate of kenki and fish. "How was school today, Timi?" she asked, her voice cheerful. At first, Timi felt shy, but her funny stories about her childhood in the village made him laugh. She even let him watch cartoons on her small TV, powered by a noisy generator. Soon, Timi looked forward to his afternoons at Auntie Beatrice's, feeling less alone. One sunny afternoon, after Timi had finished his homework, Auntie Beatrice handed him a shiny new football wrapped in plastic. "This is for you, Timi," she said, her smile wide. "You're like the little brother I never had." Timi's eyes sparkled with joy. "Thank you, Auntie," he exclaimed, clutching the ball tightly. He felt special, appreciated in a way that warmed his heart. They kicked the ball around her small courtyard, laughing as it bounced off the walls. For a while, everything seemed perfect in the quiet village of Asamang. But as weeks passed, things began to change. One afternoon, after Timi finished his homework, Auntie Beatrice sat close to him on the woven mat in her living room. "Timi," she said softly, "let's play a special game. It's just for us, so don't tell anyone, okay?" Her smile was still there, but something felt different. Timi hesitated, unsure of what she meant. The game wasn't like the football matches or riddles he played with his friends at school. As it began, he felt deeply uncomfortable, his stomach twisting with unease. "I don't want to play this game," he mumbled, his voice trembling. "Don't worry, Timi," Auntie Beatrice said, her tone soothing but firm. "You'll understand soon." But Timi didn't feel reassured. Confusion and fear settled in his chest, and he didn't know how to explain what was happening. As days turned into weeks, the discomfort grew. At night, Timi began waking up to find his bed wet, something he hadn't done since he was a toddler. Shame and fear gripped him, and he hid his sheets, too embarrassed to tell anyone. At school, Timi's teacher, Madam Comfort, noticed a change in him. The once lively boy who led his friends in football games was now quiet, sitting alone during break time. One morning, as the class worked on their English exercises, she called him aside. "Timi, is everything okay?" she asked, her voice kind but firm. Timi stared at the ground, his fingers fidgeting with his pencil. He wanted to speak, but the words felt stuck in his throat. Later that day, Madame Comfort pulled him aside again. "You can tell me anything, Timi," she said, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. Tears welled up in his eyes, and finally, he whispered, "It's Auntie Beatrice. She makes me feel uncomfortable." Madame Comfort's face grew serious, but her voice remained calm. "Thank you for telling me, Timi. You're very brave, and this is not your fault. I'll make sure you get help." She immediately informed the school headmaster and counselor, who contacted Timi's parents. That evening, Mr. and Mrs. Asante sat in their living room, devastated, as the school counselor explained what Timi had shared. Mrs. Asante held Timi tightly, tears streaming down her face. "We are so sorry, Timi," she said. "We should have listened to you earlier." Mr. Asante, his voice heavy with guilt, added, "From now on, we'll make sure you're safe." The family reported Auntie Beatrice to the village police post, where a kind officer spoke to Timi. "You did the right thing by speaking up," she assured him. "You're not alone." After an investigation, Auntie Beatrice was arrested, and the village was shocked to learn the truth behind her friendly demeanor. Whispers spread through Asamang's market and compounds, reminding everyone to stay vigilant. Determined to be more present, Timi's parents adjusted their market schedule, ensuring one of them was always home after school. They also took Timi to a counselor in the nearby town, who helped him process his emotions. Slowly, the nightmares and bedwetting stopped. Timi began to smile again, kicking his football with friends under the village's big neem tree. One afternoon, as the sun set over Asamang, Timi approached Madame Comfort at school. "Thank you for helping me," he said sincerely. She smiled warmly. "You're very brave, Timi. Always remember, it's okay to speak up when something feels wrong." Through it all, Timi learned a powerful lesson: there are people who will listen, believe, and protect you when you find the courage to tell the truth.